Brandon Ferguson, Derek Nordstrom, Evan Miller, Dan Jensen, Colby Clausen, Billy Prouty, Jim Ross, Nick Jansen, Sean Taylor. 8 times around, your first of 2 heat races for the TNR Contracting late model street stocks. Brandon Ferguson going to lead him down into turn number 3. Got Dan Jensen in the second spot in the 98 machine. Everyone else still working for positions. Nordstrom in third, gets a little out of shape there in turn number 2. That opens the door for the 88 of Evan Miller. Miller to the inside line, picking up these late model street stocks quite quickly. The rookie driver of Sioux Falls in the corduroys pixie dust, number 88 machine. Miller dives to the bottom. Nordstrom on the top. Here comes Billy Prouty, the 51 machine. He'll fill the top line, gets right behind the 20X of Nordstrom. And Colby Clausen, the 34K, hard charger in this division last week. Coming from very deep in the field to salvage a good run and hold on to his points lead. Here comes Prouty to the inside of Nordstrom. That is the race for third, going on at 3/4 of a straightaway behind the top 2. Prouty gets the third spot. Miller now going to get through there. He'll move up to the 4th spot, and Colby Clausen trying to come into the top 5 in the 34K. He will do so as Nordstrom gets over the edge there on the top side of turn 2. 3 laps to go for Brandon Ferguson, who leads by 0.7 of a second over the 98 of Dan Jensen. Two laps to go. Jensen trying to close in on your race leader. Doing so, he cut a little over 1/10 off of the lead there last lap. I don't know if he's going to have enough time because they're about to see the white flag. Brandon Ferguson, the number 15 machine, to the white flag. There's some traffic in front of your top 2 in this 8-lap late model street stock heat race. And yeah, one of them just pushed up the racetrack. Here comes Dan Jensen after your race leader. Final time down the back straightaway. Nick Jansen says, I'll just hang out down here, boys. You guys go settle this one to the checker. The 98 of Dan Jensen gets the nose to the inside. Can't quite get there. And the 15 of Brandon Ferguson picks up the win. Brandon Ferguson, the 15, victorious ahead of the 98 of Dan Jensen, the 51 of Billy Prouty, 3rd. Evan Miller, 4th in the 88 and 34K. Colby Clausen in 5th. Sean Taylor was 6th. Jim Ross, 7th. Nick Jansen in 8th. And Derek Nordstrom, pit side early. He'll be credited with 9th. Olivier with 3 feature wins here this season. In the 71, the 64 of Corey Yai. He has 3 wins here this season. Tim Dan in the 40. He's been to victory lane here 1 time this season. 8 laps of distance, heat race number 2, TNR Contracting late model street stocks. Three wide for position here as the 71 of Zach Olivier takes him right through the middle. He and Corey Yai make a little contact, and now the 9 off the top of the speedway, just able to collect it up was Kyle DeBoer. He'll continue on. 1 lap in, 7 laps remaining. John Hoeing out front, the leader in the 55. So his brother Brian filling in a hobby stock earlier tonight. Also races in the late model street stocks out here. Ryan DeBoer in the 2nd spot, but he's got pressure from the 83X of Bradley Goff. Goff took a look to the inside there in turn 2, nothing going. That's happening right in front of the 71 of Zach Olivier. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the speedway, all bunched up. Here comes the 83X of Bradley Goff. He'll dive to the inside once again as they go back to turn number 3 by Blake and the speed camera down there in the 3rd turn. Love that view. And now we've got a battle for the spot as they head back to turn number 1. Bradley Goff on the bottom, the 99 of Ryan DeBoer on the top. Here comes the 71 of Olivier and the 64 of Yai. Look at this battle. 4 cars racing it out. Oh, they touch a little bit here as the 83X of Bradley Goff got a little bit out of shape on the bottom of the speedway. And what's all happening behind that car? John Hoeing out front, showing the way in the 55 machine. He's had his fair share of bad luck lately. Oh, they're going to race for the 2nd spot here as they go back to turn number 3. The 99 of Kyle DeBoer got a little too tall in turn number 2. Able to fend off the challenge, however. 2 to go for the 55 of John Hoeing. Down the back straightaway, had the rear end fall out of that car a few weeks ago while leading a heat race. Here's that battle back there. It's still fierce as Hoeing takes the white flag. Kyle DeBoer off the top of this speedway. He's out in the dust and going to slide it into the wall outside of turn number 4. And the yellow lights are going to come on around the speedway. Well, the racing for the second spot in this heat race with the TNR Contracting late model street stocks has been something fierce, and the 99 of Ryan DeBoer gets a little bit too high over there in 3 and 4. You can see his marks where he slid and then got into the concrete there outside. In the 6th spot as we come back to the green. 2 laps remaining on the final heat race tonight of the TNR Contracting late model street stocks. Corey I taking a look to the inside of Tim Dan down the back straightaway. Couldn't get there. His 55 of Hoeing brings us to the white flag. Final lap. Riley Goff right there, keeping Hoeing honest here on the final trip into turn number 3. Hoeing on the high line. Goff tried the inside line. Couldn't quite get there. Checkered flag for the 55 of John Hoeing. John Hoeing in the 55 picks up the win in Heat 2 of the TNR Contracting late model street stocks. Bradley Goff second, Zach Olivier third, Tim Dan fourth, Corey Yai finishes 5th, followed by Matt Donker 6th, Ryan DeBoer 7th, Kyle DeBoer credited with 8th. 13X Eli Hargraves side by side on the front row. Barr, a first-year driver, Hargraves in his 2nd season. Son-father combination in row number 2, Alec Matea, John Lambert side by side, Trevor Waller, Casey Abbas, Nathan Painter, Lee Ghost Jr., your starting grid. Eli Hargraves going to lead their 3 wide for the 2nd spot. Look at him go into turn number 3. Casey Abbas gets the best out of that 3-car battle with John Lambert's following him. They're running 2nd and 3rd. The 40 of Whitley Barr now in the 4th spot, but here comes the pressure from the 17 of Lee Ghost Jr. Ghost to the inside of Barr into turn number 3, right across your nose, and that's exactly what Ghost did across the front wing of the 40 of Barr. So Ghost from last up to the 4th spot here in just a couple of circuits. Battle for the 3rd spot. John Lambert's coming to the inside of the 17V of Casey Abbas. Abbas keeps that motor wound up. It's Grandpa's engine in that car, he said. Proud to have that in victory lane. Last Sunday at Houston Speedway, his first victory there in 5 seasons this past Sunday. Seeing the 12 of Alec Matea in the 40 of Whitley Barr. That's the race for 6th on the Speedway. Here's the race for 2nd, the 17V of Casey Abbas and 12L of John Lamberts continue to run closely together. That's all happening 1.2 seconds behind Eli Hargraves out front. The radio control race car driver and slot car driver that started his full-size racing career last season showing the way, still by 1.2 seconds. Hargraves will come to the white flag. It flies. 3/8 of a mile to go. Final set of turns. John Lambert takes a look to the inside of Abbas for the 2nd spot as Eli Hargraves picks up the checkered flag. Eli Hargraves, the 13X, he'll pick up the win. 17V Casey Abbas 2nd, holding off the 12L of John Lambert, who was 3rd. 17 Lee Ghost Jr. was 4th. Trevor Waller 5th in the 32T. Alec Matea 6th. Whitley Barr 7th, and Nathan Painter in 8th. The Fastenal Pace Truck will head off on the back straightaway. We've got 50-50 tickets for sale in the stands. They're right here center top side. We'll have that big drawing coming up later tonight. Get your 50-50 tickets when the bright pink shirt comes into your area. Here we go racing. 8 laps the distance. Jackson Weber going to try to lead us off of turn number 2. The rookie driver will do so. Nick Barger in the second spot. Here comes Andrew Sullivan. Yeah, he's a rookie too. That number 91 machine graduating from go-karts into the IMCA Sprint Car ranks this year. They were 3 wide. They're deeper in the field for the 5th spot as Warner tried to come through the field in the 78 all over the 8 of Slendy. Slendy able to prevail for the 5th spot so far. Slendy in 5th, Warner looking to his inside as you see 2nd and 3rd. Now there's that battle between Slendy and Warner. Warner to the inside, Slendy on the high line. Slendy been to victory lane this season in that 8 machine at the Houston Speedway. He'll continue to run 5th. Now he's going to slip up the racetrack. Warner's going to get a run at him, as is the 91 of Andrew Sullivan. Got a run on the 53 of Nick Barger. Nick Barger has the 2nd spot. Here comes the 91 of Andrew Sullivan to his inside. There he goes into the 2nd spot. The 81 of Jared Jansen closing in on that tussle. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there off of the corner. Sullivan in 2nd, Nick Barger in 3rd, Jared Jansen in 4th, looking for 3rd, side by side off the 2nd turn. Barger has it. Back to turn 3 they go. Wheel to wheel, Barger able to hold strong thus far with 2 laps remaining on this heat. Jansen to the bottom, slider. Going to run Nick Barger up the hill as they race for 3rd down the back straightaway. Back to turn number 3. Nick says, I can dive to the inside, repay the favor. Can't quite get there. And Nick Jansen, Jared Jansen has the 3rd spot in the 81. Here comes the 8 of Slendy. He'll grab the 4th spot here on the final lap as your leaders off the final turn. Jackson Weber, the youngster out of Del Rapids, wins Heat 2. How about it for the rookie? The 97, Jackson Weber, picks up the checkered flag. Andrew Sullivan follows him in 2nd. Jared Jansen 3rd. Micah Slendy in 4th. And Nick Barger 5th. Brett Warner was 6th. Nate Barger 7th. And Dylan Bickett crosses the line in 8th. Final starter from Brandon, South Dakota. In the Schmidt's Drywall number 24S, it's TJ Schmidt. That is your grid. 8 laps the distance on the Peterbilt of Sioux Falls, heat race number 1. For the repairableVehicles.com Tri-State late models here at the I-90 Speedway. We're green. Ooh, a little contact here down the front straightaway. The 26 of Troy Bakey. Got a little rub from the 11 of Denver Nickerson. They'll sort it out as out front. It's Jordan Hyman showing the way off of turn number 4, putting the first lap into the books. Here comes Denver Nickerson to the inside of Lane Brennan. Brennan goes down the racetrack as Nickerson slides up. Lane Brennan runs in the 2nd spot, and here comes Justin Boomsma all over Denver Nickerson for 3rd. Boomsma grabs the spot with a slider in turn 3. Justin Boomsma up to the 3rd spot. Denver's Nickerson now 4th. The 26 of Troy Binky was running in 5th. He'll hold on to the spot, but he lost a lot of ground. Had a little bobble there in turn number 1. The lead for the 38 of Jordan Hyman, 1.6 seconds over the 8 of Lane Brendan. About a half straightaway right now for Hyman as he'll come off turn number 4. Flash by the flag stand. We're halfway in the Peterbilt of Sioux Falls, heat race number 1 for the repairableVehicles.com Tri-State late models. Jordan Hyman, best lap with a 13.7. Lane Brandon, a 13.7. Justin Boomsma, 13.5, the quickest car on the racetrack. And he is reeling in 2nd place running Lane Brendan, but does he have time to get there and gain a spot into the redraw? Some traffic for your race leader to navigate as the white flag is displayed. Final time around for Jordan Hyman. Jordan Hyman down the back straightaway. The race for 2nd could still change on this last lap. We'll keep you updated on that as we watch Jordan Hyman come to the Olson Custom Farms checkered flag in heat race number 1, presented by Peterbilt of Sioux Falls. Here's how they cross the finish in the Peterbilt of Sioux Falls, heat race number 1, 38 Jordan Hyman. Your winner, the 8 of Lane Brennan, 2nd. Justin Boomsma 3rd in the 4. 11, Denver Nickerson was 4th. Troy Binky 5th in the 26. 41, Chad Graves 6th. E&A Concrete brings us the 2nd of 3 8-lap heat races. Top 2 make the redraw at the checkered flag. Justin Zeitner out to the lead in the 62 machine, coming off the win this past Tuesday at the Lyon County Fair Race at the Rapid Speedway in Rock Rapids, Iowa. Cody Martin runs in second and third right now, the 51 of Nate Byenoff, followed by Blair Nordorf and Chad Olson, and a star-studded heat race number 2 brought to us by I-90 Concrete. Zeitner in the 62, he will be a car to watch here tonight. That Zeitner and Sons DJ's Dugout Tree Services of Omaha, number 62, was out to a nearly 8-second lead at one point in the feature event this past Tuesday down there at the Rapid Speedway. He had lapped into the top 10 in that feature event when the caution flag came out over the speedway and he raced that lead. But it was a dominating performance this past Tuesday for the driver who leads the way out front in the 62 machine by 1.8 seconds over the 24M of Cody Martin. Nate Byenoff, Blair Nordorf, Chad Olson remain your top 5. There's that driver we've been talking about. And showing the way, Justin Zeitner, very, very fast here this season with the RepairableVehicles.com Tri-State Late Models. 3 wins already this season here for that driver. Those wins coming at the Miller Central Speedway, the Jackson Motorplex, and this past week at the Rapid Speedway down there in Rock Rapids, Iowa. Coming into the season, he had 2 career wins with the RepairableVehicles.com Tri-State Late Models. He's already bypassed that. 3 wins to his credit. He'll come to the white flag. 1 lap to go here in the I-90 Concrete Heat Race number 2. Into some traffic goes your race leader. He'll navigate through them. And off of turn number 4. Justin Zeitner to the Olson Custom Farms checkered flag as the winner of the I-90 Concrete Heat Race number 2. Well, how about it for JZ Justin Zeitner? He'll pick up the win in the 62 of our I-90 Concrete Heat Race number 2. 24M Cody Martin second, 76 Blair Nordorf third, Nate Byenoff fourth in the 51, and Chad Olson fifth in 10C. Jared Jelsma sixth in the 9, and seventh to the 71 of Mike Benson. Travis Carlson, Gail Vogt from row 1, Ben Sukup, John Hofert from row 2, Travis Paulson, Kyle Jensen making up row 3, Brad Vogt from the tail. The 11V. Here we go. 8 laps the distance. Three wide for the lead. Sukup on the bottom. Will contact with David Carlson. Sukup to the lead, and John Hofert off the pace over there in turn number 2. The 10-2 well off the pace, trying to limp it to the return road. First lap will go into the books, led by the 07 of Ben Sukup. Sukup, Carlson, Gail Vogt, Brad Vogt, the top 4. 2 in, 6 to go. Ben Sukup, your race leader in the 07, 2 career wins with that Power Sports Nation Southside Salvage Quality Siding and Roofing car number 07 with your RepairableVehicles.com. Tri-State Late Models picked up a win at the Wagner Speedway with the series in 2018 and went to the winner's circle at the Raceway Park in 2020. And debris spotted down here in turn number 1. Caution's going to come out over the speedway. Debris spotted down in turn number 1. That will draw the caution flag out here in the Burt Sports Bar and Grill Heat Race number 3. With 3 laps counted and 5 laps to go. And again, the Vogt Repair Regan Electric 11V of Brad Vogt has come to a stop down there in turn 1. He'll this time get the car going so he can return to his running spot, which is 4th on the running order. So we will get the green off of turn number 4 once again. Single file restart with the RepairableVehicles.com Tri-State Late Models in heat race action. Ben Sukup going to show the way back to the green. Carlson and Vogt rounding out the top 3. Brad Vogt all sorts of to the top of turn number 1, was able to collect up the 11B machine and continue on. Here comes the 748 of Kyle Jensen. Wow, they were 3 wide down the front straightaway. That got tight there for a second as the 1V of Gale Vogt got out of shape. Now the 748 of Kyle Jensen's out of shape in turn 2. That's all happening well behind your race leader, the 07 of Ben Sukup, showing the way. Now the 1V of Gale Vogt, he had a big moment off of turn number 4, nearly got into the concrete here on the front straightaway, and then they ended up 3 wide and tussling down into turn number 1. Now Vogt coming back after the 99 of Paulson. That's the race for third, going on a straightaway behind your top 2. A little tight there in the middle of the corner for the 99 of Travis Paulson, as you see your top 2 coming to the white flag. 3/8 of a mile to go for Ben Sukup with David Carlson in a redraw spot. Race for third. Give that back to the 1V of Gale Vogt as they head to turn number 1. Meantime, final turn for the 07. Ben Sukup comes to the Olson Custom Farms checkered flag. Checkered flag waves on that one, and Ben Sukup, the 07, wins the Burt's Sports Bar and Grill heat race. The 73M of David Carlson in the redraw finishes second. Gale Vogt third. Kyle Jensen fourth. Travis Paulson in fifth. Brad Vogt sixth, and John Holford will be credited with the 7th spot.